This week we're asking, is poverty sexist?
Burkini.
But what's Harry Potter got to do with orphanages?
And who is not paying their taxes?
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has caused some controversy by saying poverty is sexist. It was in response to a letter that the One campaign and Bono wrote to him saying that if you want to tackle poverty, you have to tackle gender inequality. Whilst poverty affects everyone, the reality is that most of the people who live in poverty today are women and girls. If you're a woman or a girl, you're less likely to go to school, less likely to get paid fairly, or to be represented in Parliament. You're more likely to suffer from poor health and more likely to be impoverished. Even in Australia, we're still suffering from gender inequality. If you're a woman, on average, you have to work a day extra a week just to get paid the same amount as a man would get for doing the same job. It's time that we end gender inequality in Australia and around the world. But the problem is that many people still think of women like this.
The thermal fuse blew.
And you can fix that by yourself, honey?
I sure can. If I concentrate extra hard with my lady brain.
Every development expert will tell you that if you invest in women and girls, the whole community benefits.
France, the international symbol of freedom. Last week sparked a huge controversy internationally by banning the Burkini. There was a famous photos of armed French police instructing women on the beach to remove her dress. The argument the French government used was the Burkini was a symbol of radical Islam, was a threat to the secularism or laicite in the French society. France has been championing the idea of equality, fraternity, and liberty. But equality for whom? Who do we include as us? The hard right of the French government trying to narrow this definition of us for those who dress or look a particular way. And what they're saying is Muslims aren't like us. But we must reject that narrow definition. Because what defines our characters is not how we treat those who look or dress a particular way or pray to a particular god, but how we define who we are and how we celebrate diversity.
JK Rowling really doesn't like when people go on holidays and visit orphanages. She delivered about 13 epic tweets about how she dislikes it because the reality is most children in orphanages aren't actually orphans. The sad reality is, despite our good intentions, we often do more harm than good when funding or visiting orphanages. Too often, orphanages are made into businesses, but it comes at exploiting the goodwill of people and the cost of the well-being of children. Children need families, not institutions, and we're better off supporting community-based and family-based alternatives. Whenever there's a program that fosters dependency, it's not going to be a good idea. Good development's more about, rather than rescuing people, just supporting them so they can lift themselves out of extreme poverty. What's that mysterious ticking noise?
Severus Snape.
Dumbledore!
Snape. Severus.